The Kenyatta University Women's Economic Hub, KUTV, have organized a high-level stakeholder and advisory forum where scholars presented their assessments of various ways to economically empower women in societies. Here is the full report prepared by our gender reporter Caroline Kimwele as KUTV Hub celebrates its 4th year since inception.
For the teacher.
Media involvement emerged as a key issue during the advisory meeting at Kenyatta University's Women's Economic Empowerment Hub meeting, popularly known as KUTV Hub, to advance critical steps in empowering women economically through training in various fields, as highlighted by KU's media teams. KU's Vice Chancellor Professor Washeke Wanjohi, represented by Deputy Vice Chancellor for Administration Professor James Kungu, highlighted the importance of involving researchers and scholars to enable women's social and economic development within the community.
We understand that research can be a powerful catalyst for change, and through our programs and initiatives, we strive to equip women with the skills and opportunities they need to succeed. This project, therefore, was started with a goal to promote women's economic empowerment through policy-driven research. It was envisaged that the evidence produced through all the 14 studies in the project would be utilized by our counties and national governments and other players to shape policies, programs, interventions, and advocacy efforts.
The leader of KUTV Hub, Professor Judith Waudo, emphasized the goal of finding economic solutions for women.
The idea is actually for you also to identify for us, we know, but also just to concretize areas that we can be able to upscale. In the last 3 weeks, we had a meeting with the Bill and Melinda Gates representative in Kenya, and she told us there are some areas, because we share with her quite a bit, areas that she feels we can upscale. And for the hub, when we began 4 years ago, we said we are starting this hub. We don't want it to stop after the project. We want to continue. So we are looking for several ways for actually continuity of this hub.
At inception, the goal was to develop research concept notes that would lead to generation of credible data to influence women economic empowerment policy and programs. The concept notes have since given rise to 14 research studies, each providing key policy recommendations, some of which have already been taken up by policymakers for implementation.
At this forum, some of the lead researchers from KUTV Hub projects presented their evaluations and recommendations on how to economically empower women under 3 main themes, including women's participation in the economy, skills, mentorship and lifelong learning, violence crisis and women's work.
On women's participation in management and leadership positions, the team conducted a gender audit that assessed the representation of women in management positions in public service for the period 2010 to 2020. The results revealed a decrease in the proportion of women holding those senior and executive positions.
So the transferable skills project dealt with young women and girls. That project was training. The CAPC project in Mombasa was training the girls and women on businesses so that they see those who can be employed. So they were given skills.
The standards for the tour operators, and our information was incorporated into it. I'm saying our information because I'm the PI for that area. Again, accommodation providers with gender data and gendered the manual.
Professor Simon Onywere emphasized the importance of caring for and including children in education as a key way to support women's economic activities.
Kwa hivyo tena inakuwa jukumu lako mama kufikiria sana. Ukienda kazi, wakati wote unaenda kazi mahali fulani, unafikiria, mafikira yako inakuwa kwa mtoto. Kwa hiyo fanya ile kazi vizuri. Kwa hii mradi tulionelea kwamba kama kuna njia ya kusaidia mama wapate watoto wao wapate malezi kwa njia ile inapendeza na ile watoto wanapenda kufanya hiyo masomo na ama kwa mahali wanapenda pale wakienda huko. Na tumeona hii ya kwamba wale watoto tunafanya experiment nao saa hii wakienda shule, wakipelekwa shule na mama yao, wanataka mama arudi nyumbani ili hao wakimbie kwa class waende kuchumuika na watoto wengi. Hiyo inafurahisha kina mama.
James Onditi, Administration and Finance Manager of KU WeHub, outlined the funding and financial management methods that have enabled various projects under KU WeHub to thrive.
And from this high-level budget lines, you can see that we have budget lines for personnel, travel, consultants, equipment, other direct costs. Other direct costs is where we are doing our research activities, our communication and advocacy activities, and all other related research activities.
Counties also demonstrated their contributions towards empowering women.
As a county government of Tharaka Nithi, you know, basically when you support women, you support generations, and we support children, you support the future. So when this call for proposal came up in partnership or with support of KU Women Economic Hub, we were able to develop the proposal together. So basically as a county, ours is to provide the expertise in this case, also support in terms of ensuring that aspect of monitoring and ensuring that program runs is being implemented.
However, these researchers provided their recommendations on the steps to follow to fully achieve the goal of empowering women.
We want to engage stakeholders and get more on some of the promises that they have given us. We also want to get to, especially this two-third gender principle. This is an area that is with so much within us, because we know what it would open for this country. And also, the area of agriculture, where women are just farming or working in the fields, and they are not getting any serious returns.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which funds KU WeHub, praised the projects being implemented by KU to economically empower women.
This was a competitive bidding process. I must give them a lot of credit. When this work was beginning of Kenya, that is the starting a Women Economic Empowerment Evidence Hub, there were many, many bidders. And they struggled to be top. I think we've got two such hubs in Kenya, University of Nairobi and Kenyatta University. These are the two top leading universities in Kenya. And if you talk about research and evidence and policy engagement, who else would you think about? And especially when they have also demonstrated that through winning it competitively.
Caroline Kimwele, KUTV.